Goody Bird Gang, it's your boy and I'm back with another banging video. And today we have what happened to the 5 players drafted before Larry Bird. I don't even know who these players are, so this is an interesting video. With that being said, if you're new to the content, please join the fam, hit that subscribe button and like the video. By liking the video, the way the YouTube algorithm works, more people want to see the video. You'll be directly helping me and supporting me while I support Bird, man. We trying to get more people onto the Bird game, man. He's a GOAT. But with that being said, bro, we just gonna go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna speak a little bit throughout, we're gonna speak after. Let's get it.
Larry Bird.
Fake in the middle, Bird a runner. Yes, double fake, jumper, good! So Corin turns and hits the game. Bird, yeah! Bird,
big bucket, Bird.
Underneath to Maxwell. Tiny to Bird, behind the back to Parrott. Does to Lambier, stolen by Bird on the cut to DJ, yeah!
One of the greatest NBA players ever, frequently ranked by ESPN as a top 5 small forward of all time, wasn't even in the top 5 of his own draft class. That's a lower draft number than guys like Greg Oden, Anthony Bennett, and this dude. No, obviously none of the players in Larry's draft had a Hall of Fame career like him, but they had remarkable careers in their own right. One was the first player ever banned by the NBA, and another turned out to be the
Yo, for one, he was drafted 5th, and he saved the NBA, along with Magic. But how do you draft him? Who are these people that they thought was better than him? That I would have thought. I never even thought about it. Like, who did Magic come in the same year? Dang, I don't even know for sure. But my thing is, I would have thought he went like 1st or 2nd. Like, he went 5th. Who are these 5 people that went before him, and how did their careers go for sure? Because honestly, ain't no way their career even boiled down to what. Like, held a candle, held a pedestal, whatever you want to say, held a tic-tac to Larry Bird's career, man. Ain't nothing they like. But that's my thing, son. Some of these GMs, like, what? Like, I could see how some of the guys you think they're gonna be the next phenom or the next, but who told y'all to draft these people before Jordan? Or who told you to draft these 4 people before Larry Bird? Or who are these people that they drafted before a Damian Lillard or who else? Elijah Wan? Or I don't know if Elijah Wan went first, but I'm talking about when these legends didn't go first. How do these GMs have to feel like you missed out on him and you had the chance to get him and you left him on the board? You had 4 chances to get Bird. That was 4 different teams that had a chance to get Bird before the Celtics got him, and y'all all just said, nah, I think he's better. There was nobody in that draft better than him. I hope you feel crazy. Let's jump back into it.
Father of one of the greatest NBA shooters ever. Here's their crazy story. The #1 pick in the 1978 draft was Michael Sweetbells Thompson, the first ever international #1 pick. At 6'10", Michael was a solid power forward who played 7 seasons in Portland. His best season came in 1981 when he averaged 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists.
That's a
Michael
good
played
season.
half a season with the Spurs before being traded to the Lakers in February of 1987. Michael was an important addition to the Showtime Lakers. He played as Kareem's backup and provided valuable minutes as the Lakers' core rested. Michael won 2 championships with the Lakers. The first one was in 1987 against Larry Bird.
I just gotta say this, bro. He's a phenom from overseas. You'll never know what these people will end up being, and he could have. His best season was 20 and 11. He averaged a double-double. He had the potential to be a great, but at the same time, circumstance comes into play with some of these players also, because he so happened to went to the Lakers and was playing behind Kareem, and he wasn't starting, period. He never had a chance to even know. I'm not going to say never, but I don't know how long he was there before, but when he first got drafted, he did not have a chance to showcase his talent fully because he didn't have the minutes to play. He was a backup. You're not starting over Kareem. He's a legend. So for him, I feel like he was a decent lottery choice, but over Bird, I don't know. He's 6'10", Bird was 6'10". He was inside. I feel like Bird had a better skill set. I would have never picked him over Bird. But I'm not even neglect that he was a GOAT. He played, well, not a GOAT. He was a good player. You know what I'm saying? I almost said that. He in his own right he was a GOAT, but he was a good player. They say he played 7 seasons at a high level. We're not gonna neglect that, but picking him over Bird was a mistake. Let's get back into it.
And the Celtics. In Game 6 of that series, Michael had 15 points and 9 rebounds. The Lakers won again in 1988, beating the Detroit Pistons in 7 games. Michael continued to play the backup center role until 1991. When he retired, Michael took a job in sports entertainment and has been working as a Lakers radio host since 2001. Incredibly, the Thompson
he got 2 championships?
Grow in the NBA. Clay, his second son, is the 4-time NBA champ on the report.
That's Clay's dad? What?
Thompson for 3. His 3.
I did not. Bro, I didn't know that was Clay's dad this whole time.
Thompson goes inside and dunks.
Michael was most
Clay nice
for the Lakers Showtime reunion, where the team probably celebrated beating Larry in 1987. But credit to Larry, he made sure to get 3 rings of his own. The number 2 pick in the NBA draft was NCAA legend Phil Ford. To this day, Phil is still considered one of the best ACC point guards ever. Phil was key to the UNC Four Corners offense. With no shot clock in the NCAA, UNC would space the floor and let Phil play one-on-one until the defense overcommitted.
Starting to the right, comes back to the left, now drives into the middle, puts up a little running. Good shot, that's good.
He had a game.
It was genius and terribly
ISO
frustrating
ball.
for any college opponent he faced. Phil led UNC past rival NC State for the ACC title his freshman year. Then Ford won the ACC Athlete of the Year award in both his junior and senior years.
MVP
he was a bucket.
Honor, but it doesn't come close to the honor that the team won the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship.
Over his career at UNC, he averaged 18 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals. Plus, he won a gold as a starting point guard for the Team USA at the '76 Olympics.
He was nice.
Phil continued building his legacy in the NBA with the Kansas City Kings. In his rookie season, he once dropped 26 points and 21 assists against the Bucks. He won Rookie of the Year, averaging 15 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals.
Wait, he won Rookie of the Year?
Phil steadily improved his scoring until 1981,
he came in with Bird, right?
He had a career-high 38 points against the Houston Rockets.
Good play. Bill Ford, what a play! 360. That's the old 360 special.
But just weeks later, Phil was forced to undergo surgery due to a season-ending eye injury. Phil returned in 1982, but was never the same player. He was traded to the Nets and then to the Bucks in the same season, and finished out his career with the Houston Rockets from 83 to 85.
Pause for the cause, guys. Yo, this is about 5 players that came in with Larry Bird, and he won Rookie of the Year. Dude, nice. Okay now, like, I'm not gonna say like Larry is a legend and everything, and my guy didn't have the longest career, but when he came in, it makes a lot of sense why he was a high pick. I don't know about higher than Larry Bird. Him going number 2 or number 3 makes sense. Anywhere in that top 5 makes sense under Bird, but did he beat him out for Rookie of the Year? Or am I tripping? Because they just said he won Rookie of the Year. Let me know in the comments. Bird, what? Didn't Bird win Rookie of the Year his rookie year? So how is that's what? Let's just get back into the video. That don't even make sense to me now, because we talking about 5 players drafted before Larry Bird, and they said that ball won Rookie of the Year and got drafted before Larry Bird, but didn't Larry Bird win Rookie of the Year? Oh, I'm tripping. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me look it up. Give me 2 seconds. Larry Bird won Rookie of the Year in 1980. This video just kind of tripped me out. Let me know what's going on in the comments, because apparently I know I'm not tripping. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I just looked it up and they say Larry Bird won Rookie of the Year in 1980. So explain that whole situation to me, how he got drafted before Larry Bird and he won Rookie of the Year, but Larry Bird also won Rookie of the Year. Is that a little bit off, or did he not play his first year? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I know I'm not tripping though. I had to get my facts right. Let's jump back into it.
482 games. Phil averaged 11 points, 6 assists, and 1 rebound. Meanwhile, Larry Bird was busy winning back-to-back league MVPs and NBA championships. Phil retired and returned to UNC as an assistant coach in 1998 and helped the team win the NCAA tournament in 93. Phil remained on the UNC coaching staff until 99. Then, from 2004 to 2010, Phil briefly coached in the NBA with the Pistons, Knicks, and Charlotte Bobcats. Although Phil and Larry both had legendary college careers, Phil Ford's NBA career pales in comparison to the guy drafted 4 picks after him.
For Larry, working on Wilkins. Fakes it. Got him.
Rick Roby was a 6'11" bruising center from Florida.
I think he messed up when he said that guy had won Rookie of the Year.
To every team he played on. Rick won an NCAA championship his senior year at UK. In the championship game, he dropped 20 points and 11 rebounds.
20 points and 11 in the championship? That's not bad.
So Indiana was ecstatic to get him at the 3rd pick. But Rick played just 43 games in Indiana before being traded to the Celtics for small forward and all-star Billy Knight. What a blessing for Rick. Rick played the backup center position for 5 seasons with the Celtics. He was a part of the team that won the 1981 championship against Moses Malone and the
what a
Houston
stroke of
Rockets.
luck. It's amazing, and I'm just very happy that I was a part of it.
Rick and Larry were good friends.
They were able to get Bird signed, which Bird was in my draft. The first year we were roommates, and then we decided after the first year we'd get our own separate rooms. Larry and I became very close. He, without a doubt, the greatest player I ever played with.
But Rick was traded to Phoenix in 1983 and missed the prime of Larry's NBA dominance. His role diminished and Rick retired in 1986. He played 493 games and averaged 7 points and 4 rebounds. In the 90s, he became a successful real estate agent in Kentucky and still works in the industry to this day.
This summer,
drafted over Bird?
I'm going to go by the governor's house and show him this world championship ring. And
the 4th pick, Michael Ray Richardson, was supposed to be New York's next Walt Frazier, who, if you're unaware, is one of the 50 greatest players of all time. Like Walt, Michael could create his own shot, pass, rebound, and play lockdown.
50 greatest players of all time?
For a brief period of his career, Michael was
good.
Just below Hall of Famer point guards like Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson.
Michael Ray was a guy who played just like I played. Every time I saw him, he went right at me.
In his 2nd season with the Knicks, Michael averaged 15 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Oh, he was decent. Now, I'm not gonna lie, out of everybody in here, him and the other guy that was at the point guard where they said he won Rookie of the Year, which didn't make sense. But he was possibly the guy picked right before Bird. But it makes, even as good as he was, top 50 player of all time, you know what I'm saying? I probably would have still took Bird over him. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a bad pick, you know what I'm saying? He was obviously a great player, you know what I'm saying? To have those averages, to have Magic praising him, yes. To be in the company of Isaiah Thomas and the great Magic and the top point guards at that time, yeah, he was definitely a good pick. I don't know if he was a better pick than Bird, but he wasn't a bad pick. Let's jump back into it.
Richardson, let's fly.
He became the 3rd player in NBA history to lead the league in both assists and steals. He made the All-Star team every year after his rookie season with the Knicks, too. In 1982, he was traded to the Warriors
in exchange
for Bernard King, but played just 33 games before being traded to the New Jersey Nets. During this time, Michael was dealing with substance abuse and his career started to take a downward turn. In 1984, Michael submitted himself to rehab and played only 48 games with his new team. But then, in 1985, Michael bounced back. That season, he averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals.
Oh, he had a crazy good career.
He was once again the NBA steals champion and earned his 4th All-Star team selection. Michael even won the NBA Comeback Player of the Year award. However, his career came to an abrupt end. On February 25th, 1986, Richardson was banned by the NBA.
Today is a sad one. Michael Ray Richardson of the New Jersey Nets has been dismissed from the NBA under terms of the anti-drug agreement between the league and its player association.
The moment crushed him. Yet Michael didn't give up.
Dang,
he
that's tough.
14 seasons in the EuroLeague where he continued to get buckets and earn a living.
14 more seasons though?
In 2002, he finally
This man played 14 more seasons?
2004 to 2014, he coached 2 minor league basketball teams in the CBA and 1 NBL team in Canada. He led the team to multiple championships within the respective leagues. Although Michael was the first player banned by the NBA, he didn't let that define him.
I was the first player that was banned from the NBA for doing drugs. But I was also...
I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I like the way he's going about it and continuing his life and working and progressing to grow. But I hate those type of stories. He played 14 more seasons overseas, so obviously he had a good 7 more seasons he could have played in the NBA if it wasn't for bad choices. And there's so many other players, and this story goes for so many other great talents, and I'm so upset about it. I did not know. He came back. He came back. That means so much to me. To be able to... He failed the drugs, had to go to rehabilitation, all that. He failed his fight, his war against drugs, came back, Steals leader, you know what I'm saying, had a good average, shook back, he was a good player in the NBA, and then on your second chance, you get banned for drugs again. Oh my goodness, but he didn't give up on his dream. He played 14 more seasons overseas. That is insane. I don't remember how many seasons they said he played before that, but he would have had a prospering long career if he wouldn't been for those drugs and stuff like that. I hate that type of story, man. But I love the fact that he never gave up, and he's turning that negative into a positive, and he's telling kids about his story so they don't go down the same path. I appreciate what he did after. He's a real lifer, and he really bounced back. His story, never heard it before, but honestly, this video, it stood out to me the most. Honestly, he inspires me, bro. He's the only one in this video, except for that other guard, you know, he was really decent, that I feel like was even relevant. It has any relevance when you speak in the people drafted before Larry Bird. He's the only one that's even the least bit relevant to me, but I appreciate his story a lot. Let's jump back into it.
First player that was reinstated. I am now 59 years old. I've been drug-free for 35 years.
Today,
That's
Michael lives
good.
in Oklahoma and puts on
That's
youth
good.
clinics with his longtime friend and teammate Otis Birdsong. Purvis Short was the last guy drafted before Larry Bird. Ouch, Golden State, you missed on this one. You'll have to wait another 35 years until you draft an NBA champion. But credit to Purvis, he was still a very solid player in his day.
Just over a minute here in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
He lets it fly, and you can't stop it.
He got a decent midi.
All over. Short just doesn't.
Forward come the Warriors, leading by one. Now leading.
Oh,
Purvis
that
was
midi
6'7"
silky.
and possessed an unblockable rainbow jump shot, and he put up some ridiculous numbers with this skill. In 1984 and 85, he scored a career-high 59 points in one game, which at the time was a top 10 scoring performance in NBA history. He also had a 57-point game and a 46-point game. That season, he finished his year averaging 28.0 points per game. Purvis Short had just one season, his second to last, in which he didn't average double digits in points, even when he took on lesser roles and fewer minutes. However, Purvis was never named an All-Star. The truth is, it was difficult to
He was a good player,
players like Larry Bird, who at the same position scored 60 points against the Hawks just a few months after Purvis.
Upped him. One upped him.
14 seconds, he got fouled. He hit the shot. They're not going to count it. Bird falls into Joe O'Toole.
Then, in the same season, Larry averaged 28.7 points per game, along with 10 rebounds and 6 assists. Purvis Short wound down his career with the Rockets, then the Nets. While Purvis was an underrated player over his 12 seasons
He
in the
played
NBA,
good.
he was still
The
a
stats
model
were nice.
pro and highly respected by his coaches and peers. When he retired, Purvis became the vice president of an NBA program which helps players deal with some of the inherent problems of the NBA lifestyle. Today, Purvis is the director at the NBA Players Association, and he continues his work in supporting NBA players on and off the court. Purvis Short deserves his flowers. It's just tough to shine when you were the last guy drafted before Larry Bird.
Before, you know, you fell in love with Klay Thompson's shot, the Steph Curry shot, Chris Mullin's shot. The shot that was known in the Bay Area was Purvis Short.
The crazy thing is that...
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I didn't notice. I thought the other guy was the last person, so these two, I honestly think Purvis Short had a good career, like a very good career. He probably wasn't an all-star, a top-tier player, but he was an above-average player. To be able to average 28 for an entire season, bro, that is like all-star caliber. Like, I guess the only reason why he didn't become an all-star is because Bird had the all-star at that position. Because if there wasn't a Bird averaging 28.6 and a little bit more assists and rebounds, he definitely would have took that 3 spot in the all-star game. He did. I think he's a little overshadowed by the greatness of Larry Bird because he was a good draft pick. I probably wouldn't have picked him over Bird, but he did give 50, 57, 20, average 28, played a couple of good seasons. He was a phenomenal player, and after retiring, he does even more phenomenal things. President of the Players Association. He's a great guy. I like it. Let's jump back into it.
everyone agreed that Larry Bird should have been the #1 pick in 1978. Bird had dominated
definitely.
college
He should have been
basketball,
#1.
averaging 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Oh yeah, 30 and 13, 4 assists. Oh no, I would have picked nobody over him.
But drafting him was a huge risk. Bird was just a junior at the time, and he made it clear to the NBA teams in '78 that he would not skip his senior season. Plus, signing him would require a massive contract. Knowing this, the Indiana Pacers traded their #1 pick to the Portland Trailblazers and selected a cheaper option in Rick Roby. The Celtics took a chance and picked Bird 6th. Larry was obviously uninterested in the beginning, but
Pacers,
Red Auerbach
y'all messed
here to
yourselves up.
negotiate with him. Finally, just a few weeks prior to Larry's draft rights expiring, the Celtics pulled off a deal, $3.25 million over 5 years. The largest rookie contract in all of sports.
Even
Larry
if it was the largest contract, it was
for an entire
worth it.
decade, he dominated the league.
Right. For the quality of player you got, it was definitely worth all $3.5 million. He was worth way more than that.
He wins championships, MVPs, and more first-team All-NBA awards than you can count. Larry redefined trash talk, like the time he told Xavier McDaniel that he was going to hit the game winner in his face.
He said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
Live, and Bird has the basketball. Look out.
And he came out with about that exact spot and shot a shot right in my face. And, you know, he was like, I didn't need to leave 2 seconds on the clock. He wanted to shoot it with 0 seconds on the clock. I walked back to the sideline like, damn.
He's slow, can't jump, and still beats your favorite player.
No, he got that big smile. My goal was to try to take 3 of them teeth home with him.
He took out his top yet.
Yeah, that was crazy. Didn't even take off the top.
Now, you can't really blame these NBA franchises for not drafting Bird. Larry himself didn't believe he would sign with the team that drafted him in 1978. But sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. The Celtics took a chance, and the rest is history.
I forgot to tell Mr. Auerbach, but I would have played for nothing.
If you enjoyed these longer videos, hit the subscribe button.
Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, bruh. When you're drafting, you just don't know. It's really about just knowing your basketball and knowing potential and seeing what an athlete could, because there's injuries, you know what I'm saying? There's life stuff that happens, car accidents, man. But the people that actually just passed up on him, it was a hard situation because he didn't want to. He said he didn't know if he would have went to the first team that drafted him. You had to sign him after he was gonna play a whole nother year in college. Could have got injured. It was so much that went into it. So I could understand why you passed him up and went with a better option. But when it came down to it, bro, he was worth way more than the $3.5 million that the Celtics paid for him, and he's still a monumental talent till this day. So like, we're still talking about Larry Legend. So if any of these other teams would have drafted him, it would have been a great addition to their team. And the Indiana Pacers opted out for that Roby guy, I think his name was. I mean, come on now, bro. Like, think about it. If the Indiana Pacers would have got Bird, that mean that they could have potentially, maybe not, but they could have had him and Reggie Miller at the same time. Let's think about that. But at the end of the day, it just goes how it goes. Sometimes you get the best top player by a stroke of luck now with the draft lottery and stuff. It's crazy. But this was a good video. It put me on some players I never knew about, especially like that Ray Richardson, I think that was his name. Richard, that guy, that story, that touched me, man. I didn't know anything about him, and I learned a little bit more about him, and I'm kind of a fan of him now, you know what I'm saying? Especially his shake back and coming back from all the tragic stories with the drugs, fell in the rehab. Well, not really. Well, kind of fell in the fight against drugs and then having to go back and rehabilitate, then be reinstated to the NBA after being banned. I mean, that's a story he can go around and tell the youth until he's gone, and he will always inspire somebody. But I appreciated this video. If you like this type of content, make sure you like in the video and subscribe to the channel. By liking the video, more people will see the video. That's just the way the YouTube algorithm works. When you like the video, they show the video to more people. You'll be directly helping me to grow while we support Larry Bird. I appreciate you. I hope you know what it is. Until next time, much dig.